Welcome to Mind Your Abundance podcast. I'm your host, Ruby. I focus on helping women to release their guilt and building a healthy boundary within self and building the confidence they have been craving for. Today, we are going to talk about, are you being too much or they being not enough? Let's talk about it. Okay. So I want to share a story of being growing up as a crazy imagination kid. I'm a Gemini. So every time I watch a show, the Travel Channel, that looks so good and the place so pretty, I always tell my mom, hey, let's move there. And my mom always gonna say, oh, you again. Basically, every time the answer is like, what am I going to do there? Or you again. And then I always suggest something very random. And I remember my dad is complaining the politics is not doing their thing. And and then I remember that during election time, and then there's a what's it called? There's basically a car will announce like we would like you to vote number blah 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 in their name, and then basically say we support you blah blah blah, and will be in the neighborhood for a while during the election, so making sure people will vote for them. And since my dad was like complaining to the politics not represent ourselves, so when I was a kid, so okay, then that means we need to do strike. So I was nearby the door, say strike and strike, strike so loud, and they pull me over. Another people drive. My parents pull me off the door, and then close the door. Say, stop saying that. You're going to get us in trouble. And so I was labeled being a little too much as a kid. I also cry a lot for the movie, or like if I get a lecture, sometimes they raise their voice and then I get scared and then start crying. I was a very emotional kid. So they always said, give me a name like a little bit like cry baby, emotional kid. And so I kind of just used to it when I was a kid. And some of the nicknames in the beginning could sound cute, but toward the end it just sounded like an insult. Right? And they say I'm being too much, and I was trying to uh express my sorry I was trying to express myself, and so slowly I learned the patterns. I shouldn't do a particular thing even though I kind of want to. And then have you ever experienced multiple times like that as a kid? If you can take a pause and think about it, how often they tell you, okay, be more lady like, be more like elegant. And I remember one time we went to a movie, and I think it's the first day they released, and there was like a movie theater is so packed of the people, and the seat outside waiting people's seat is basically all full. And my mom was staying there. I was getting tired because it's in the shopping mall, and then it's like had 30 more minutes to wait. I don't want to stay, so I'm just I was sitting down on the ground. The ground actually had the carpet and was quite clean, so I'm just sitting down waiting for it. And then my mom sees it and say, "Get up! Don't just sit down there. It's like you look like a homeless or something." Have you noticed the most emotion of feeling being too much is actually feeling uh, it's actually fear of being judged and rejected or shame. All those kind of feeling could be like twined together, and so sometimes harder for us to figure out which one. But you probably can find the more like higher intensity one, and then we could address those one at first. And a lot of women to learn early enough to dim our light because we want to be like fit in society, want us to be like elegant, be quiet, talk more quietly, and don't speak out because then you might cause trouble. They might people see you as a issue maker. And how often that we learn as we grown up, we start just shrinking and taking like small part of us away, just try to fit in little box, just pretending you wear shoe size 8, and they will want us fit inside shoe size of 5. And then you feel so tense, so tight in this environment. You basically feel like you cannot move and frustrated, angry, and claustrophobia. I'm just kidding. But you probably can get that those tightness feeling in you. It felt like this environment, this place felt heavy for me. This place doesn't feel like me. Or you could say like I don't feel like me anymore because you've been doing so much like taking a small part of you away, try to fit people's life or need instead of yours. But do you know when I'm being too much and too loud, it's actually helping me when I in college. I was majoring in fashion design. Those imagination helped me to create design and be more engaging with the artists because I can feel the painting of their some of their passion and story they want to share. But I need to get those back, not from the beginning, because in the beginning, I'm trying to express my design. I always inside a particularly box, and then I can see my classmate and other cohort people can just like feel free to do whatever and not being afraid from other people to saying their design always admire me. And I would say a child book always helped me to be more like have more imagination. And then kids, not kids movie, like is that called anime movie? Yeah, movie, Ghibli cartoon animes always help me. And then you say, what's that do with too much? Why if it too much? Often it's called in it's they just cannot understand you, not understand your thought. So instead of they said, I don't understand what's your thing going on. They just say you being too much. But you probably experienced those before too. Like you walk on the street and then you see someone else dressed up very weirdly and you don't get their style. And then the first thing we thinking about, oh, their style is a lot. That's probably the first thing. First thought come up. We honestly we constantly judging people and people are constantly judging us too. It's like a default setting. And being a loss sometimes it could be just we don't understand it yet, but it's a possibility it could. And if we maybe express ourselves a little more and maybe people one day could understand why. Why can't we just like keep that possibility open? And why if you are not being sensitive and too ambitious or too emotional, too much, you are just finally waking up to your own power and you are ready to use your own ability with the world. Not not everyone is ready for their own reflection and it's okay. You are going to attract people can and be appreciate your sensitivity and your imagination and your ambition and your sensitivity. So don't give up. Just because the people don't get you right now doesn't mean it won't. Would you like to try some affirmation to help you for the day? Here's the affirmation. I am safe to be seen. I am safe to be powerful. I am safe to be fully me. And while you take a deep breath in and breathe out, you don't need to be less and you don't need to be louder for your own truth. Just be authentic, really rooted, and unapologetic. I hope this episode helped. And if you would like to learn more, I have 8 weeks live group coaching called Awaken Her to help women stop shrinking, release their fear to being seen, and to rise their full potential self. We work with the nervous system, identity, and emotion safety so you don't just think different, you become different. You feel different. So if you would like to join the waitlist, go to my website with rubychen.com. On the top page, there's an orange button say put me to the priority list. When you sign up, you will receive extra bonus and goodie in there. And the door is open on July 20th. I can't wait to see you there. Have a good one.